Hi, my name is Kate. I'm also known as Two Little Kits. Welcome to my FlossTube. Apologies if I look a little bit crazy today. I've had my eyes dilated, so I figured I can't see anything. Why don't I redo my FlossTube? So let's get started. Crazy eyes. So yeah, everything is a little bit blurry for me at the moment, but it is what it is. And I wanted to do some stitching, like actual useful stitching that I would record myself. And because I can't really see what I'm doing, I am scrapping that and figured that recording my FlossTube wouldn't be a dumb idea, given especially what is going to be happening over the next couple of days. So first, before I get started, I want to ask if you guys like that I sort of get started with my works in progress and my finished pieces at the start of FlossTubes, or whether you'd be fine if I kind of waited to talk about them a little bit throughout the FlossTube. But for today, I'm going to get started on works in progress and finished pieces. So finished pieces is kind of a bit of a stretch when it comes to whether it's finished or not, because it's not in its final stage yet. The necklaces that I've shown you, well, the soon-to-be necklaces that I've shown you, have all been stitched up and washed and ironed, and this is them. They're super little. Where's something? I'm just trying to think of something that I can hold next to it that you can see how big they are. Something universal. Ooh, I've got bobby pins. It's not really the best thing to hold next to it, but whatever. So there's the bobby pin, and that's how small they are. You can kind of see it based on my fingers. You can see how big they are, but they're pretty tiny, and I've just got to figure out how to stabilize them with like a backing piece, because this is all brand new for me. This is a let's give something new a try situation. But I am happy with how they look. They're super cute. Yeah, it's going to be a very, very limited run, as you can see, to begin with. And if they do well, then I will keep making more, basically. So if you like them, don't like sit and think about it. I need to know whether or not people like them. Leave me a comment if you like them. They're going to come with a chain, a necklace chain as well. So that's those. That is my finished stuff for the week. Actually, no, it's not, because this is technically finished and caught up, but it's not totally finished because it's not going to be finished until August. So it's a good in-between finished and work in progress. I have caught up with part 2 of this stitch along. This is Farming Magic Stitch Along by Flossie Fox Shop. I spent quite a few evenings just hanging out with my husband while he was playing video game and doing, the stitching on this. I think it's super cute. So we got a little sheep, we got a chicken and some chicks and a little bird here, and obviously we've got the cow and the pig, what does she call it? The earth dragon, I think it is, but it's in the form of a pig. I have no idea what this is. I'm sure I will figure it out at some point, but I really like the fence. I love the vines, especially the pink ones. But yeah, I'm all caught up on that, and now I gotta wait until early March until I can keep going. So there might be a little bit more done on it next FlossTube. When is next FlossTube? Hang on. Or there might not be anything done on it next FlossTube because it comes out in 2 weeks. I'm recording this on Friday the 17th, and apparently it's going to come out on the 3rd, which is roughly when I want to record my FlossTube. So enjoy this, because you might not see it for a month. La! You can check this out in detail, my own stitch of it, on my Instagram if you are curious. Next work in progress I have is an embroidery piece, and I was really umming and ahhing about sharing this because I don't actually think I'm going to end up keeping much of it at all. So I'm not really pleased with how it is looking, but I obviously am deciding to share it because I want this to be what I'm working on, and this is what I have been working on this, but also want to share that sometimes things don't work out, and kind of normalize that a little bit, because you see on social media everything that looks amazing and perfect and lovely framed and all of those good things. But yeah, I'm not happy with how this is looking. Mostly it's these red start of the flowers, and I don't like the little white petals that I've done so far. This was another sketch onto the fabric because I had an idea, and I'm not loving it. I haven't worked on it for about a week now because I've just been sort of sitting on it and thinking about it for a bit, and I'm not happy with how this half wagon wheel turned out. Don't mind my nails, sorry about that. Yeah, I mean, this is the right way to do it, but I think I should have done it after I stitched the leaf. So yeah, it's got cat hair in it, obviously. Probably not going to last. So there it is while you can enjoy it. I'm not going to wash out what I've drawn, but I will definitely rethink how I want to stitch it, and the colours too, because the colours right now are very patriotic. That was unintentional. Yeah, I'm not happy with the colours. I'm not happy with how it's looking, so it will disappear. But yeah, so I've been working on that. And my last work in progress is this, that hopefully you will be able to tell that I've done stuff with it. I fixed the problems that I had. If you missed my last FlossTube, or if you don't remember, I had to unpick everything I'd done on the left-hand side because my grid that I drew up, I missed a whole column of dots. So everything on the left was shifted in by 10 squares, and it was wrong. So I finally finished unpicking it all, and now I'm ahead of where I was, which is perfect. So I'm currently, as you can see, working on the purple. Down here there's a tree. There's not much more dark purple to go, but it's very cute, and I'm so glad that it's being stitched on 18 count. It is, every time I work on this though and think to myself that I'm glad it's on 18 count, I am reminded that I'm still bummed out that I didn't do the Haunted Library stitch along on 18 count, but it is what it is. But this is cute. It's tiding me over because this one was much quicker than I anticipated, but this is very cute. Ta-da! So that's nice. I brought it with me to my optometrist appointment, and I saw the nurse, and she did all the tests, and then she dilated my eyes, and then I knew I'd be waiting for a bit, so I picked up my project bag and started stitching, and I'm like, So like the second before the doctor came in, I was like, yeah, I need to stop. I can't see what I'm doing anymore. But it was nice in the end. She saw what I was doing, and she asked me about, how long I'd been stitching for, and I told her that I do this basically. I stitch pieces to sell and patterns to sell, and she got my Instagram handle and seemed genuinely interested. So hi, if you're watching this. But yeah, so that was nice. That's all my works in progress. Again, as I was saying last FlossTube, I feel like that's not enough works in progress. So I do have digital works in progress as well, because I've been trying to tinker with a bunch of different ideas that I've had in my head. So I will demonstrate those here. So the first thing I have is my next font, which I'm excited, very, very excited about. It's going to be called Page. I sketched out the lowercase, which is how I always start out a new font, especially one that's as detailed as this one. Yesterday, I finished virtually stitching, I guess, the piece, or the letters. I don't have uppercase yet, and for this one, I'm actually thinking about releasing it with an add-on, an optional add-on that you can get, which will allow you to, it'll be similar to the Celeste add-on, which will have ligatures, connections, like difficult connections of letters, of 2 letters, special letters and accents, and you know, just alternative options for some letters. Like, for example, the letter R and S, there is usually 2 very specific and unique ways to do them in hand lettering, and so I would include the other 2 options, if that makes sense. But yeah, I'm really excited about this piece. It is still got a lot of work to go. You can probably, if you look at it and you've worked with any of my fonts, you might be like, how do some of those letters connect? And that's because I haven't worked on how they would connect just yet. So this is like really rough. This is, like I said, my sketch for each letter, the finished or the final sketch for each letter, and then I've digitized it in WinStitch. So don't worry, don't fret. But yeah, I'm really excited about this piece. I'm really hoping to get it finished before the end of March. That would be super cool. I'm also hoping that I can find a really good way to present the add-ons for this font, so that I can then create companion add-ons for some of my other fonts, specifically Allison and Daphne. I really think that people who have the font and people who would buy it in the future could really benefit from something like an add-on that I have for Celeste. So let me know what you think about that in the comments, and let me know what you think about the font as well. That would be super awesome. It's a little bit daunting to figure out the uppercase, I guess, and the numbers. Numbers are always the worst in my opinion, I'll be honest, but I will figure something out, because I definitely don't want this to just be a lowercase only font. I do have one of those in my arsenal, and it doesn't really get that much love, and I'm really certain it's because it doesn't have uppercase. So that one's called Felicity, if you're curious of which one that one might be. But yeah, so this is my upcoming font. I also have another, I can't remember if I shared this last FlossTube, so I'm just going to share it again if I did. I have another one of my adulting cross-stitch patterns that's coming up. This one is Call Therapist, and I've been sitting on the design for this. I'm pretty sure for 2 weeks, because I do really think I did share this last time, but I'm pretty much sold on it. I do want to change a couple of the colors and maybe make the leaves a little bit more, give them a little bit more depth, I think. But this one is pretty much done, and I will be sending that one to Jessica to ask if she can test stitch that one, because she's got all the other 3. I would love to be able to have them photographed all together, which is also, I am planning on writing a blog post about the latest 3 cross-stitch patterns that I have, and actually creating like their own little landing page in a way, and maybe grabbing a couple of my other patterns that kind of fit the bill as well, that are sort of more mental health slash being an adult is a pain in the butt, and making that its own little category. And then yeah, future patterns that would match the last 3 would definitely go into that as well. But so those things are upcoming too. What else? I have some other embroidery patterns that are in the works as well digitally, and those ones are still in very early stages, and no like deadline for when those would come out, just sometime this year basically. But I'm really enjoying giving myself the flexibility and opportunity to do embroidery patterns and stitching. On that sort of topic, one thing that I mentioned at the start of the recording is I have begun plans on doing how-to videos for stitches in general, mostly embroidery stitches. There will be a cross-stitch one as well, like that's 100% going to happen. As I said, I was going to start doing one or two of those today, but although my eyesight is starting to return as I've been recording this video, it's still very blurry. If I was to like if I look at my phone, it's really very blurry still. But basically I have all of this white fabric, so I've got this chunk of white fabric, and my plan is to do this with them. I won't keep them in this, but I will keep all of the pieces so I can refer back to them another time. But they're going to be in a little 4-inch hoop. I'm going to attach it to my desk and do one stitch in one hoop, and I'm going to record the whole thing, probably at 2 different angles. So I'll use my camera and I'll use my phone. The plan is to do reels, and I'm not sure whether I'm going to do YouTube reels or just regular YouTube videos. I'll figure it out. I might do both, who knows, but it should be good, and hopefully it's going to be helpful. But the most important thing is that I will be connecting them, whether it's like a playlist or something else. I might make a specific web page on my website that you can go to. I'm not sure. That those videos will then be collected and in some way and put into the pattern itself. So for this one, this is going to be the first one that I do. I am going to be doing all of the stitches that you see for this piece that I shared last FlossTube, which has a name now. This is going to be called Spring Bliss, and pre-orders for this are going to probably be up already by the time this FlossTube's released, but I am giving myself a deadline that this is going to be my next pattern, so it will be available next Monday, basically. So this is going to be the first pattern that uses all of the stitches that I'm going to be doing on these little circles. So I got to get started, basically. But that'll be good. I've been meaning to do this for well over a year, and it'll just be awesome to have my own collection of how-to videos for different embroidery stitches. Hopefully that's exciting to you too. Something else that's going to be happening soon-ish, I'm not exactly sure when. I'm not going to be doing it while my mum's here, basically, but I will be getting started very shortly after she heads back to Australia. I am going to be moving my website to Shopify, which is a big deal for me, I'd say. I know that I've been doing a bunch of website updates, and I've mentioned them sometimes on my FlossTube, and you probably haven't really noticed much of them, but this one's going to be a really big, at least back-end change. It's going to take quite a long time for me to do it because I'm just me, and I'm trying to still push out patterns and stitch because I actually like stitching, believe it or not. My full-time job, if I would even deem that I have a full-time job, is being a parent, so that comes first. I have to work around everything that I need to do first before I can continue coding a brand new website, basically, and importing everything that I have on my current website into this new one. But just know that it's going to be happening. It's going to be amazing. It's going to mean that I can do so much more regarding products. It's going to make launches for stuff much better, so much more fluid, would be a good way of putting it. Blog posts should be, I would hope, easier to code and push out because I'm going to limit myself to how they can look. Yeah, it's going... This heater, I have been trying to work around the heater in the house, this whole FlossTube, and it's driving me bonkers. So let's just wait again. I totally lost what I was saying. It's gone. Stupid heater. Anyway, let's move on to some stuff that's been happening in the last 2 weeks. I got my first stripe in martial arts. For anyone who doesn't know or doesn't remember, I'm a yellow stripe, which is 2 belts above a white belt. The place that I go to, they mostly focus on taekwondo, but they do other types of martial arts. But their belt system is huge. There is a number of different colors, and each color has a solid and a stripe version. So I've still got a very long way to go. Just realized that even though I'm a yellow stripe with my first stripe, that's not very far, but I got it, and so that's awesome. I can continue trying to get to my next belt, which will be an orange belt. I didn't end up going to martial arts yesterday. I went to the chiropractor shortly beforehand and was incredibly sore afterwards. I was also incredibly tired yesterday because I've been helping my daughter with her sleep. She likely has insomnia and she's just been struggling with sleep, and so I've trying to help her out, and it's made me very tired. But anyway, so I didn't go yesterday to class, and I feel kind of bad about that, but I do need to listen to my body, and my body was saying an hour of that. It's not a good idea, so that's okay. The other exciting news that happened, well, much more exciting news, I think, that happened in the last 2 weeks was my husband, my oldest daughter, and we all got our green cards. Yay! They arrived in the mail, and so we, officially have a green card, which is very exciting. My youngest daughter doesn't need one, just to be clear. She is a dual citizen because she was born in California, so we didn't have to worry about her. Basically, she is just excited for us, so that's nice. The other thing that's happening that's exciting, well, by the time this releases, it will have happened, is my mum is visiting. She's coming Sunday morning. She is probably going to start flying in, I would guess, about 24 hours from right now. She has a lot of layovers. I didn't know until she gave me her itinerary yesterday, I think it was. She's got 3 layovers, which is crazy, but hopefully, fingers crossed, it won't be as stressful for her because she's actually flying into Vancouver rather than flying into LAX. And if you have flown into LAX from an international flight, you will know why that is stressful, especially when you're trying to get to a connecting flight. It's just, LAX is just, it's a nightmare. It's so busy and it can take hours to get through. So fingers crossed for her that Vancouver International is much more smooth and it's a shorter flight to get from Vancouver to Seattle. So yay, it'll be so good to see her. My kids are so excited, and thanks for that, Zoe. And it'll be awesome to have her for 2 weeks. Maybe I should remember to edit the video that I recorded with her back in August. I keep forgetting that I did that, and I keep forgetting that I haven't done that. So, sorry. There hasn't really been anything else that's been happening. I've just been keeping out of trouble, basically. Helping my kids get through the last 2 weeks because they've just been excited about winter break and my mum coming and everything like that. So next week will be good fun. Hopefully I'll have some things to share and stories to tell for my next FlossTube. But that's all the notes that I have about what to talk about, basically. And this is an incredibly long video because, as I mentioned, I was trying to not talk while the heater was on. And yeah, it's just, I didn't want to forget to turn the recording back on, so I just let it run. There's going to be a lot of editing to do, but that's okay. So let me know in the comments what you're excited about, things that I've shown that you really like, any feedback that you might have. I don't know what about. Get one of these. Oh, that's something. I will tell you all quietly that I have new merch coming very, very soon. If you become a supporter of mine on Ko-fi, you'll be able to see the design that's upcoming. The name of the design is called My Whip. I really, really like it. I'm waiting on a sample of a hoodie because it's going to come in hoodies for this one. I'm waiting for my sample to come in so I can see it and show it off. But I'm hoping, fingers crossed, that I can release that either end of February, early March. So that'll be exciting. So keep an eye out for that. And that's a little sneak peek tidbit for you just for watching through to the end of the video. So thank you. In saying that, I'm going to leave it there, and until next time, I'll see you around the internet. Bye.